Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Commission Breath. Brandon Love here, jumping on a solo episode. Tom and I were at the StrategyHub Referral Bootcamp in Toronto yesterday with Jason Henneberry, Ryan Wiley, and Jill Moellering, and it was awesome. So I feel really inspired. It was a long day, 15 hours by the end of it, but I came back with a ton of ideas, and I think a lot of them are really relevant to you, and I wanted to share some key takeaways for those of you who couldn't attend the event. So I'm going to frame this around kind of the market reality, the opportunity, and the strategy that you can apply. So kicking things off, there was a speaker from MCAP who shared that there's 900 billion coming up for renewal in 2025 and 2026. And this stat was also echoed by Jill Moellering, who added an extra billion on there because she's awesome. So let's say 901 billion. So a huge opportunity for us to show value and grow our businesses that way. But Jason shared another interesting piece. He said that banks are saying that they are currently retaining 85% of that business. So if you look at it, there's a lot of business that if we quote on just rate alone or rate plus our great customer service and frame it that way, we're still losing a lot of these deals. So you have to go in with the mindset you're not going to win everything, but that there's a huge opportunity that you could take advantage of. So with that, how do we position ourselves the best so that we can capitalize on these opportunities? So when you're competing with a bank, and Jason framed this wonderfully, you are competing with maybe they used to send a letter. Now they're just updating a portal. And if the client calls in, maybe they get something, but usually they're saying the portal is the best answer. So it's very easy and convenient for the client to just press the button and go forward. Where we win is if we can, instead of just selling, hey, we can beat this rate by X amount, we sell them on a strategy. So you create a whole financial plan for them. And there was a ton of strategies he shared, and I'm not going to have time to go through all of them. And I highly recommend checking out Strategy Hub to do a deeper dive on these. But essentially, what you're selling the client on is your plan, and the rate is just a component of it. And it's not even the biggest piece. So it becomes a secondary part of the conversation and shifts the whole frame and lens of what you're looking at. And I love this because no longer are you going, okay, I have 5.24, and someone comes back with, oh, I have 5.19. Now you're cutting your commission, you're doing buy downs, you're paying for appraisals, legal fees, you're doing all sorts of things to try to win the deal. When in reality, if you just frame this, okay, rate's 5.24, but I'm going to show you a strategy on how we can top up your RSPs, or I'm going to show you a strategy about how we can add a rental property to your portfolio. You're shifting the whole conversation where the client can't get a hold of someone at the branch who can speak to this strategy. It would take way too much time, knowledge, and effort and skill that those branch employees don't have. And that's where you're really demonstrating your value. So that is a huge opportunity for you. Shift the lens, shift the frame away from rate, focus on the strategy, focus on the plan and those opportunities, and you will win. If you do that, I think, you know what, 85% retention for them, I think we can cut that by a significant amount if we shift our effort. We have trained people to think so much about rate because for a long time it was advantageous to us. People would get a rate from their bank. It was very easy for us to beat it. That's no longer the case. If you look on the ILMB page or Mortgage Newbies Facebook page, you see a lot of people saying, shit, like the banks come back with X rate. Like, how do I even compete with this? And in truth, you cannot. So you have to play a different game. If you keep playing the same game, you're going to get beat by the big boys. And it sucks. It's probably not always going to be that way, but right now we need to earn, we need to feed our families, we need to grow our business. And Ryan had a great point. No one's coming for you. No one's coming to help you and save you in this scenario. You need to roll up your sleeves, find a better way, and save yourself. So that's the reality of the situation right now. Okay. Love it or hate it. Obviously, we don't like it, but we have to work with it. And I think if you can shift your frame on this in this challenging market, it's going to pay dividends for your business long term. So another strategy piece that came from Jill Moellering, this blew my mind. Honestly, I can see so many use cases for it in my business. And it's if you have a client who is currently in an insured property that they've converted to a rental, you can keep it as an insured rate on renewal. So you're going to beat the bank's rate there. You can also use the rental income to qualify. So that's a huge win for you to compete on rate in that environment. But also for those clients who might feel trapped in that property, having the insured option allows you to do things like AVMs, where maybe the market price has come down a bit and it wouldn't appraise for what it once would have. So that's a big potential opportunity that I'm going through my book today, and I'm looking for clients that I can apply this to. And I'm also sharing this with my realtor partners because they might have clients who feel trapped by where they're at and say, I want to move. Like, this was my starter home, but I bought it at peak market and I feel stuck. Like, what do I do now? Well, you know what? Let's just make it a rental. We know that we can set it up as a renewal insured when it comes up, and we can get you lined up for the next property with as little as 5% down. So big win for those clients there, and huge opportunity to create a couple ends for your realtor partners. There was also a wealth building strategy that I think is really cool and really important to show people. And you shift the conversation again with this one, okay? This is an example of a wealth plan you can apply. So you show the client who we're going to have copies of their notice of assessment. So we'll see if they have room in their RSPs that can be contributed to. So you show them a strategy where they can access that equity from their home, top up their RSPs, get a larger tax return, and then use that money to either pay down the HELOC you've set up for them or to roll it into continuing to invest. And we built out several budgets on this, and this is offered through Strategy Hub. So once again, check out there. But these tools demonstrate to people how to build long-term wealth. And all of a sudden, you're showing them, okay, I'm going to show you how you can save more for retirement, pay less tax, have more cash flow for things like your kids' dance lessons, swimming lessons, etc. Ultimately, set yourself up for a brighter financial future. And once again, this takes the conversation away from rate completely and gives them a solution that their bank is not going to offer them. Another frame that I really loved from the event was thinking about your renewal clients with a few different avatars. So Jason pointed out that a lot of people fall in three different buckets. So there's the people who are strapped for cash. They just need to free up cash flow monthly. They're stressed about it. Financially, they're feeling burdened. It's weighing on them. They're losing sleep over it. And your solutions should be framed towards that. Second category is people who have money for their mortgage, but they don't have money for investments and the extra things in life. So they're not enjoying life as much. You know, they're not where they were a couple of years ago or where they thought they'd be today. And that's kind of weighing on them. So that's another avatar that you want to present a few different strategies like the one I had just mentioned on topping up their RSPs. The third category is people who are wealthy. There's a lot of people who have thrived in this economy, and those people are looking for different things. They're looking for time. They're looking for ways to build wealth. They're looking for ways to pay less tax. So don't make the conversation about rate with any of these three avatars. All of them will come in with rate questions, but take it away, identify which one of the three buckets they fall in, and tailor solutions and strategies to those people. In doing so, it's going to be so personal and speak true to their heart and their desires. When they go to their bank who just offers rate, you're going to stand out. And this is what we need to do. We need to stand out, position ourselves as the strategy makers, as the plan makers, as the wealth builders. And that's where we win and thrive in this market. Last piece here on this is just the reality of things. And it's a shift in the landscape of lending in general. A lot of us have been putting clients in shorter term mortgages, 3-year fixed, for example, and we haven't adjusted our business models to living off 50 basis points versus 110 plus volume bonuses. And a lot of us are doing the same amount of work and receiving less pay for it. I know certainly this year that my actual take home amount is significantly lower than last year and the year before. And I'm still doing a good volume of mortgages. It's just that I'm getting paid 50 basis points on some of them. This can short term hurt your mindset. It can also hurt your budget if you don't plan according to it. So plan accordingly, but don't let it hurt you in thinking and don't dwell on it too much. The reality is you're building great options and solutions for your clients now, and you're going to maybe lose a bit in 2024 on the income front, but you're building a really beautiful 2027. And if you follow our other strategies we share on client journey and client retention and those pieces, you're going to win because those clients will come back to you. They'll know you looked out for them in a challenging time, and you'll have provided that ongoing value. So 2027 will be a great year for you because you'll get all of those renewals again. And you'll also get referrals and other connections that come from that growing network effect. Final takeaway from the event for me was that it was a ton of fucking fun to just hang out with other brokers, meet some cool new people, and just get in person again. So much of our industry is digital, Zoom meetings, podcasts, YouTube, etc. And it can be lonely at times. And it was a ton of fun to get to learn from other people, get to connect with them. I know Tom, his ego was really stoked by Mark Hubler recognizing him from the podcast. And it felt great to hang out with these people. And I think that's missing a lot. And it's something that we're going to build and really incorporate in Tango, Ontario. So if you're feeling lonely in the industry, reach out because we're going to create a lot more opportunities and chances to get together. Because I think a lot of growth and mindset change and just energy came from getting together in a room and really feeding off each other. And Ryan shared a good point that he noticed a lot of brokers kind of their heads are hung low. They're sort of feeling the weight of the current mortgage industry climate and they're discouraged and it's tough to get out of bed some days. And I know I felt that a few times this year where I'm like, shit, this isn't as easy as it once was. And I'm not having as much fun in the current climate. And I'm a pretty upbeat guy. So I know some of you probably are feeling this even more than me, perhaps. Just getting together and feeling that really filled my bucket and I was thriving from it. So the people that were there, if you're listening to this, like, thank you to you. That was awesome to really learn and grow with you. And for everyone else who didn't attend, find opportunities to get together with other brokers. Maybe it's 4 or 5 of you that grab a beer and just share some ideas or a coffee or go for a walk, whatever. You can do something healthier than having pints, I'm sure. Your business will benefit from having some group think. So much time is spent in files, hovered in our offices, dark little places that we just put our heads down and work. It's great for productivity. You get a lot more time to spend with your kids, to focus on other things in life. But there's a certain element of being around other people in your sphere and your industry and expertise that really helps you to grow and scale so much quicker. And yesterday was a great example of that. And I'm going to look for and create more opportunities to do that. So that's just a couple takeaways from the event. If you have questions on anything, just reach out to us. You can also go to Strategy Hub and get some more detail that way. We do have a referral link if you want to check it out. We can share that with you so you can check it out for 30 days for free. I believe it is. But either way, find ways to connect with more brokers, change your frame and your lens when it comes to renewals, and do what you can to shift the topic away from rate and focus more on solutions. Have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.